Welcome back to Nerd Mythology. We appreciate you guys joining back on this two-part series of Hal Jordan and the Amalgam Universe.
Oh, yeah.
If you're wondering how the heck we got into the Amalgam Universe from Hal Jordan, and if you don't even know what the Amalgam Universe is, go watch part one.
Definitely watch part one. It's a good one.
It's a doozy. And if you want to know what the Amalgam Universe, we're going to dive into it a little bit more.
If you love the Green Lantern, please check out the last episode. Like I said, we dive deep into Green Lantern, specifically Hal Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
And we're going to pick it up right here, right now,
Yeah.
on where we left off on last episode on the
Amalgam Universe.
Amalgam Universe, which is a third universe, or an alternate universe created by the Living Tribunal and the Spectrum from DC and Marvel.
Yeah. So I'll give a quick recap, right, on what the Amalgam Universe is. Basically, it was a meta-fictional American comic book publisher. So Amalgam Universe also equals to Amalgam Comics. They actually created a whole comic series.
A whole series.
Series on just amalgams.
Guess what's going to be on my Christmas list?
So after at the end of this, I think you're really gonna like the character that I kind of like picked out of this Amalgam Universe. But before we get there, so basically it was a collaboration between Marvel and DC, and they clashed universes to create the Amalgam Universes. So as a part of a collaboration between Marvel Comics and DC Comics, in which the two comic book publishers merged their characters to create new ones, these characters first appeared in a series of 12 comic books which were published in 1996. So following in, let's go. So when the two comic universes came together, when the incarnations of their respective universes referred to as the brothers. So the brothers are DC and Marvel themselves, right? These are
writers themselves, the gods.
These are cosmic entities in the universe, but we are referring to DC and Marvel.
It's kind of like breaking the fourth wall in a way.
Exactly, basically. So they became aware of each other after eons of slumber. To prevent the brothers from destroying each other, characters from each universe battled to determine which universe would survive. Several of the matches were determined by online voting, but Axel Asher, a character created for the event, co-owned by Marvel and DC.
So not one or the other has full rights.
Specific rights, yeah.
So it's down the middle, 50-50.
Yeah, they both own this character.
What was his name again?
Axel Asher.
Axel Asher.
So he served as a gatekeeper who became stuck traveling between both universes. When the fights concluded between the brothers, right? So including controversial victories by Wolverine and Storm over Lobo and Wonder Woman, respectively, neither universe was willing to go. To prevent total destruction, the Spectre and the Living Tribunal themselves created and merged a universe in which only Axel Asher and Doctor Strange Fate knew the truth. The two struggled against each other to reverse or preserve the change.
So Dr. Fate and Doctor Strange.
Strange and Axel Asher were the only ones that knew what had happened.
Okay.
So eventually, Axel Asher, now called Access. So if you guys didn't know who Axel Asher was, he is Access. That's basically his superhero name.
Okay.
Managed to separate the brothers with the help of Amalgam other heroes. Before the merger had taken place, he had planted pure shards of the universes in Batman and Captain America. And once he discovered Darkclaw and Super Soldier, he used those shards to give the Spectre and the Tribunal the power to restore their universes. Batman, Captain America, and Axis were thus able to make the brothers realize that their conflict was pointless and all returned to normal.
Damn. So he hid. You said he hid shards of the universe in these characters.
In these characters themselves, yes.
Now, I'm assuming he picked these are very prolific characters. He picked Batman and Captain America.
Yeah, he picked Captain America and Batman.
So Batman, just because Batman, in my opinion, in the DC universe, is I don't want to say perfect, but he's not biased.
No,
he does what is needed.
What needs to do,
what needs to
happen.
be done.
Yeah, exactly.
So for the greater good.
Absolutely.
If it means sacrificing himself, Batman's jumping off that ledge.
That's it, yeah.
So I understand why he would pick him. And obviously, Captain America is the perfect human being.
Yeah.
He's
another selfless character. Yeah, basically does.
Who would be willing to do the same thing.
He's the guy to jump on the grenade,
On the
basically.
grenade. I love that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I love that quote.
Yeah. But to give a little bit of history, right? For 2 months, Marvel and DC published Amalgam Comics. So Amalgam Comics was a whole thing in itself. They actually created comic book series, and they even have their own logo and everything. During the publication of Amalgam Comics, the companies treated it as if it was always existed. So giving it a fictional history stretching back to the golden age of comics, as well as retcons and reboots such as The Secret Crisis of the Infinite Hour, an amalgam of Secret Wars, Crisis on Infinite Earths, Infinity Gauntlet, and Zero Hour, including an amalgam version of the cover of Crisis on Infinite Earths #7 with Super Soldier holding his sidekick body.
So they went in deep.
Oh, yeah.
They went as far back as every alternate universe crisis that it's ever happened. Every time the universe itself was going to collapse on itself, it's been there.
Oh yeah, it's always been there. It always existed. So they treated it as it always existed. So like they never like gave it like a point of origin or a point of ending, right? So like it was always there. So that's what kind of.
But okay, so it's always been there. Just it was never accessed until Hal Jordan, the Spectrum, and the Living Tribunal, because you said they created it, right? So this is trying to dive in. My brain's running at a million miles an hour right now.
Yep.
Trying to understand, process all this. They created it, but they said it's always been there. So
it's always been there.
Maybe it's not that they created it; they just made it accessible.
So if you remember, like what I was saying earlier, the brothers awoke from their slumber, right?
Yep.
So they were aware of each other's existence, and they had to battle, right?
Okay.
So again, the brothers being DC and Marvel.
Yes.
So when they were aware of their existence, they were going to battle to the death. The whole entire multiverse was going to be affected.
Okay.
If they continued to battle. So that's why the Living Tribunal and the Spectre himself
let's put an end to this.
Yeah, let's put an end to this and let's merge the two universes. Because if they would have continued to battle, one or the other universe was going to perish.
So in that universe, did Amalgam, right? Mm-hmm. In Amalgam, what characters did they have sent in to battle each other? What wars? What battles?
Your big ones. So you had Wolverine, Captain America, Iron Man, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, everybody. So
was there ever an issue where someone did come out on top?
So
obviously you're sending in Superman. As much as I've said this before, Superman is not my favorite. Obviously he's too overpowered. The guy has very little weaknesses, and so obviously if that dude decides to just stop pulling his punches,
oh dude, yeah,
he's wrecking everything.
He's wrecking house.
So who
for sure.
the hell did they send in?
I mean, who could beat Superman? I mean, I'm not 100% sure who was going to be the top dog to battle Superman.
Yeah.
I didn't go that far in. I'm telling you,
I think
this would have been
this just opened up a door for another episode.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I'm going to include pictures with this. I did get a few pictures, and this is kind of like a little taste of what like some of the characters.
I'll make sure I put this on the screen for y'all to see.
Would look like, yeah, for sure.
That is freaking awesome.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So there was a comic book cover. Oh man, I don't think I did save that one, but I'll get the comic book cover, kind of like the DC versus Marvel #1, and we'll talk about that actually today also. But to keep going, let's we are pressed for time here. Axel Asher, right? Access. So Axel Asher, aka Access, belongs to the Marvel Universe 616. So even though he is a shared character between DC and Marvel, primarily came from the 616 universe.
Okay.
So his history is as follows. Born on another Earth in a different multiverse from New Earth, first became aware of his extraordinary powers when the two cosmic entities called the Brothers, who represent the DC Universe and Marvel Universe, became aware of each other as a result of previous crossover events and hurled their respective heroes into conflict with each other's. Axel was just a normal teenager living in New York on Earth 616, who came across an old bum in an alley who protected what seemed to be a cardboard box, but was actually a portal between the universes. He also revealed that Axel was next in line to bear the powers and responsibilities of being the Access.
So before Axel became the Access, that bum was Access.
Probably.
He was.
I think so.
If he's sitting there guarding this this portal entryway, I'm assuming he's the gatekeeper.
He was the gatekeeper, correct. So the Access, the person in charge of preventing the universes from merging into one. This happens because they were originally one universe that split into two when the brothers first fought. Certain fragments of the original universe remained. The box was one of them.
That's freaking awesome. So if I can
himself was another.
So we were originally the universe was one. The brothers fought, splitting into two. Shards from that original universe were scattered throughout.
Exactly.
The box being one. I'm curious what are the others.
Axis is one of them.
Axis is one
of the other fragments of that shattered universe.
I wonder if they go into detail in any of the other comics of other parts.
So Axis helped prevent Doctor Strange fate from re-emerging the two universes. In the second, he discovered that the old bum was actually his own future self.
What? Oh, you were holding that from me, you son of a gun.
And that a variant version of himself had joined forces with Darkseid. He also discovered his powers were greater than he believed, and he absorbed his evil self within himself and helped the heroes of both universes defeat Darkseid's scheme. I'm telling you.
So Darkseid had a big role in. Okay.
Oh yeah. So Access is now the native of both universes, and his duty is to keep them separate. If they start to overlap, the universes will merge into an amalgam universe again. Access must move from one universe to the other, keeping people from crossing over. If he stays in one place too long, he can cause spontaneous crossovers to occur. Access usually works out situations like this without anyone noticing that he's involved. This explains how the subsequent crossovers occur. Adventures where heroes appear in a shattered Earth are believed to be dimensional fluxes where the two universes have begun to merge again. It has also been explained that once Access has restored the timelines, the participants forget about the crossover.
So it's like it happened, then their brains just wiped clean.
Wiped out, clean, completely, yeah. So at the height of the Brothers' battle, the universes were combined into a single amalgam universe by the Spectre and the Living Tribunal to delay their fight. Access used shards of each universe hitting inside Batman and Captain America to separate and restore both universes, aided by Batman and Captain America, who in many ways were the brothers in miniature.
What?
Access helped stop the fight between the brothers, saving the two universes from apparent destruction.
Damn it, that was an overload right there.
So yeah.
So in a way, in a weird way, Batman So we can no longer say Batman has no powers because essentially he's a god, unknowing in a miniature way.
Exactly.
Batman. Hey, you heard it here
First. You heard it here. Well, maybe not first.
Maybe not first, but for the new generations that are now getting into comics, you heard it here first on Nerd Mythology.
So what's funny is that when I dove into this whole Amalgam Universe stuff, right? I looked it up online, and there's not a lot of people that talk about it. They do talk about it. There is other videos respectively talking about this whole subject.
Yeah.
But I was intrigued. Like, when I saw it, I was like, wait a minute, what? Are you kidding me? Like, they merged universes. So, a few notes, right? Axis, or Axel Asher, is owned both by DC Comics and Marvel Comics. He made his first appearance in DC versus Marvel #1. February of 1996, and we'll provide a picture of that also, because that comic book cover, I saw it and I was like, I need that.
I'm curious what it's going for right now. I imagine it's one of them hidden gems.
So, a special crossover between the two companies. He was intended both as a way to explain the events of the story as well as means to enable more such crossovers in the future. So, a little history. DC versus Marvel #1. A mysterious box in Manhattan, guarded by the bum in the alleyway. A mysterious box in the Manhattan alley begins emanating a strange light. The light breaks free from the box and spreads throughout the world. Anyone tagged by one of its shards disappears, only to reappear in a parallel universe. Spider-Man gets struck by a shaft and ends up in DC's Gotham City, where he meets the villainous Joker. Likewise, Juggernaut finds himself transported to DC's Metropolis, where he arouses the ire of Superman. Both worlds struggle to understand these paranormal occurrences, but life continues. Heroes and villains adjust to their new surroundings and engage new enemies. In battle, reporter Clark Kent discusses these strange events with his new photographer, Ben Reilly, but both men conclude that it's something only a higher power can understand. They turn out to be wrong, as neither the Spectre nor the Living Tribunal comprehend the disturbances throughout the fabric of their respective universes. Elsewhere, two unknown cosmic beings reach out to each other's across the void between realities. Yeah.
So which were the two that reached out to each other?
The brothers.
The brothers saying, hey, something's going wrong. Something's gone haywire. Mm-hmm. So you said Juggernaut jumped in, because we've spoken about the Juggernaut many times on this podcast on our channel. He's slowly becoming a favorite.
Oh yeah.
So did this dude duke it out with Superman?
I think so. And again, I didn't read the comic books issue, and I haven't looked into that actual specific story.
Yeah.
But if he ended up in Metropolis, then yeah, he's going against Superman. He's gonna duke it out with Superman.
I got some notes up in the head. I'm gonna be looking for something immediately right after this is done.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna bring you a little bit more content on that. But yeah, I'm telling you, that rabbit hole went deep. And I was like, man. So, despite the shared ownership between DC Comics and Marvel Comics, only DC has used the character in a non-crossover experience. Guess where he actually appeared?
If DC used him specifically, and it wasn't
in a non-crossover,
I would want to think if they're using him, it's in a multiverse crisis. So is it Flashpoint?
No. So my rabbit hole went full circle. So he appeared in Green Lantern number 87. So Axis appears to Jade and claims to be looking for Kyle Rayner. Having no success, he decides to travel to the Marvel Comics universe in order to find the Silver Surfer. listen.
Okay.
When I went into this rabbit hole, I didn't know what I was expecting, and I didn't know what I was expecting to find either.
My God.
I just like went into it, and I was like, go with it. And my rabbit hole just went full circle. We started with Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern, and we ended up
with the Silver Surfer.
With the Silver.
But so when he went back to look for Kyle Renner, right?
Yeah, Kyle Rayner.
So is he the most recent Green Lantern?
I think
is
so.
He the current Green Lantern.
So Kyle Rayner. Hold on. Where's my picture again? I'll show you. And again, I'll post this up on the
YouTube vids.
On the YouTube video or whatever, but this is Kyle Rayner, right?
Okay.
There was a lot of controversy with this picture right here specifically because
obviously
this is,
I see the Mexican flag behind him.
Yeah. So there was some controversy, right? Because
is my boy Mexican?
it appears to be, right? It appears to be. But there was a lot of variant covers of this, right?
Okay.
One of the variant covers of Kyle Rayner, so right here he's holding the Green Lantern itself.
Yeah.
One of the variant covers, this is like on a comic book cover, he was holding a bag of tamales.
What?
Oh my God. So a lot of people were not very happy about that.
Bro, who doesn't like tamales?
But
tamales are amazing.
I love tamales. Tamales are great.
I feel like where we're veering, this is an episode for Cup of Joe with the Jays. If you guys aren't aware of our second podcast, we get a lot we're a lot more loose and vulgar on that one. But we'll save that for that.
We'll save that for
podcast.
Yeah. If you want to get raunchy and get a little bit wild,
Cup of Joe with the Jays.
Yeah, jump over there. But to give a little bit more context on the Amalgam universe, so a few characters, right? So Amazon is a character of the Amalgam. She is an amalgam of Storm and Wonder Woman.
So she's like as if both were fused together,
combined.
Storm and Wonder Woman.
Storm and Wonder Woman.
Sounds like a dream girl.
Assassins. There was an amalgam of Deathstroke, his daughter Rose, and Daredevil. Cat's was an amalgam of Elektra and Catwoman. Bruce Wayne, agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., an amalgam of Bruce Wayne and Nick Fury.
Oh.
Bulletin Bracelets, an amalgam of The Punisher and Steve Trevor, alongside with an analog to Wonder Woman. Doctor Strange Fate is an amalgam of Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. So we just explored Dr. Fate.
It's Doctor Strange Fate is his full name.
Dr. Strange Fate.
Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate.
Dr. Fate. So we just explored Dr. Fate a little bit when we reviewed the Black Adam movie, and we saw that he is a pretty powerful character.
Oh, yeah.
Doctor Strange himself is a pretty powerful character.
Extremely powerful, and from the sounds of it, cause of a lot of the problems with the multiverse.
Absolutely.
This dude likes to go places he's not supposed to be.
Absolutely. But Doctor Strange Fate, that's not where it stops with it. He is an amalgam of Doctor Strange, Dr. Fate, with hints of Professor X.
So just the most OP characters you can think of.
Oh, dude.
When it comes to the mind of intelligence, I don't think you go any higher than Professor X.
Oh, dude.
When you go to the mystic arts, you're not getting any more powerful than Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. Those are two. Dr. Fate and Doctor Strange were two characters that were picked for reasons. Mm-hmm. They were both chosen to be the respected
guardians of that, of that reality, of those universes.
And then you pick possibly the greatest mind.
Oh yeah.
Of all time, Professor X.
Whew. Buddy.
Man.
Buddy. So, more of that. The JLX is an amalgam of the X-Men and the Justice League of America. Legends of the Dark Claw. This is the one. This is my favorite.
Okay.
And the Dark Claw is an amalgam of Wolverine and Batman.
Is that why I saw that photo where he had the the cape with man.
So if you haven't seen what that looks like, I got you right here, buddy.
I'm gonna pop it up right here.
Tell me that doesn't look sick.
Damn,
buddy. So, I'll give you a little bit of history.
I'm
also
the
on
knight,
that.
bub.
But let's speed this up because we're almost running out of time. But
Again.
Anyway, yeah. So that's just a few of them. You know, Legends of the Dark Claw, Magneto and the Magnetic Man, Speed Demon, Amalgam of Ghost Rider, and the Flash. Spider Boy,
probably gonna be my favorite right there.
Spider Boy, an amalgam of Spider Man and Superboy. Super Soldiers, an amalgam of Superman and Captain America. There is more to go on.
That's got to be the most patriotic son of a gun out there. Superman and Captain.
Man, if you
just take my hat off right there.
Oh, dude. But yeah, like I went into this and I was like, oh my goodness, how did I not know about this? How did I miss this?
I've been sleeping on this.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
it was crazy. Basically, when I looked into it, Dark Claw, Logan Wayne. At the age of 5, after witnessing his parents' murder at the hands of an armed robber, Logan Wayne was sent to live with his uncle in Alberta, Canada. His uncle was a member of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police and was ambushed and murdered by poachers. A short time after his arrival in Canada, after the death of his uncle, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police sent Logan to live in a home run by nuns. As soon as he was old enough, he enlisted in the Royal Canadian Air Force, landing in the same outfit as Creed H. Quinn. Both Logan and Creed were submitted to the Weapon X program.
Oh.
The Canadian Super Soldier program. It was here that Logan had adamantium bonded to his bones, and he learned of his meta-mutant nature. Throughout the course of the project, the other subject, Quinn, became increasingly insane and would later become Darklaw's most dangerous enemy, the hyena.
So instead of Sabretooth, it's the hyena.
Instead of Sabretooth,
So
the hyena.
when he obviously got the adamantium implant or infused in him, does he have Logan's incredible healing ability?
Yes.
So you have someone who has now I'm assuming the same knowledge, hand-to-hand combat skills as Batman and thinking skills and planning Batman.
Oh, yeah.
Now with the indestructible body and savagery of Wolverine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That has got to be. I want to shake the hand of some of the creators who was like, you know what? You know who'd be cool to because they picked probably some of the coolest characters to fuse.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I would never have thought man, obviously we're always picking who would win in a fight.
Yeah.
Never thinking, man, if you fused both of these guys together, who could beat them?
Oh, yeah. They're pretty much unbeatable. That's why they created, the hyena. So Sabretooth combined with the Joker, right? So now you have a super strong
Psychopath.
Exactly. So it's crazy. We're gonna extend this episode a little bit, right? So we'll just do the pause, restart the
recordings and stuff. Yeah,
recording again. But because we're not gonna go into a third part for this one. But basically, when I found this out, right, I was like, well, we've been talking about Hal Jordan this whole time and the Green Lantern. What is the amalgam of the Green Lantern?
Let's go ahead. I'm gonna hit record on that camera again.
Okay, so who is the amalgam of the Green Lantern?
Yeah,
Hal Stark, aka Iron Lantern.
So you have Hal Jordan and
Tony Stark.
Oh man!
So, if you don't know what he looks like,
Please show me. I'm all for it. I'm all for it.
All about it.
It pretty much. There's gonna be a picture right here.
We're gonna put it right here. Dang it! But basically, Hal Stark is a millionaire and the founder of Stark aircraft.
So he lost quite a few millions.
Yeah,
Because I think Stark's a billionaire.
Yeah, I think so. But either way,
Yeah.
he was working on a stationary flight simulator when the device suddenly took off with him in it. Stark discovered that the flight simulator was being drawn to a crashed alien spacecraft. And the flight simulator crashed yards away from it. Stark was badly injured by shards of metal stuck in his chest. Curious to the end, Stark made his way to the alien spacecraft where he came upon the dying alien Roman Sir. So we know the story. The
So
history.
his name is Stark Jordan.
Hal Stark.
Hal Stark. Hal. All right. So both.
So Hal Jordan combined with Tony Stark. Right. Hal Stark.
All right, I dig it. That is.
I'm telling you, like I didn't know where this rabbit hole was going to take me, but I'm glad it took me this route.
I want to see more of his powers because obviously Tony Stark relies heavily on his genius engineering. Do you need engineering if you have imagination? Because your willpower, the ring. I'm assuming he has a ring as well. Right?
So combined, I showed you what the character looks like. So he has basically the Iron Man suit.
Maybe the suit is the ring
instead of exactly. So if you noticed in the center where
the reactor,
the arc reactor would be, now it's the lantern itself right there in the middle. So now you have a character right in an iron suit, damn near invincible, shooting out just tigers and fists and anything that comes from his imagination.
Man.